welcome back, NH fam. We are back with another episode recap of Stand By Me, and we are recapping episode 10 and 11. And I have feelings. I've been around on Reddit and I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one who feels like this. So, we're going to get into the episode. We left off at all the members, all the participants coming into the house to see, there are two placards put on the table. Basically, the new dates are going to be announced, and it's kind of announced based on the majority of winners throughout the show in general. So, to no one's surprise, obviously Sungho ranked first, and second and third was kind of a tie between Haeyeon and Heejin, and basically only one of them could choose who will go on a date. So that was why the placards were set. So the placards, basically one of them had a heart, one of them was blank, and the one with a heart is basically the one who can go on the date. The other must stay at home. So they both pick, and Haeyeon ends up getting the heart, therefore she will be the one choosing her date for the day. The only catch about choosing the dates is you cannot choose the person that you've already gone on a date with at least once before. So Sungho ends up choosing Yoongkyu, mainly because Yoongkyu had ended up messaging him the previous night when he and Haeyeon were in the secret room, being like, let's go on a date. So he kind of chose because of that and not because of feelings or interest at all, in my opinion. And to my surprise, Haeyeon ends up choosing Soojin. My surprise in the sense of she insists how Soojin is her second choice. And she kept saying that she was dropping hints a lot that she liked Soojin. I did not see anything. That was the surprising part for me. Because in my opinion, Soojin is not her second choice. Soojin is her second choice is because Soojin is interested in Heejin. It was very obvious. I think everyone in the house knows that. Haeyeon, in my opinion, is somewhat interested in Heejin. But because of that falling out that they had, she became interested in Soojin is to basically kind of get a know-how on what Heejin is up to and kind of cancel out the competition. Yeah, moving on to the actual dates. So Haeyeon and Soojin move out first because they are actually going a little further away for their date. So their date starts as a train date because they have to travel a long distance for their destination, their ultimate destination. And honestly, right, the conversation is comfortable, amiable, everything. That is, I feel, mostly on par because Soojin knows how to combat silences really well. And in my opinion, right, the destination and the date in general were such a lesbian coded date. So basically, they didn't immediately go to the final stop for them. They went to small places. Honestly, now that I think back, because I know what their final location is, right, it's such a Japanese style aesthetic visually, that them taking pictures around the metro station and all. So yeah, they were hanging around, walking around. They even go to a boutique. I believe that's what it's called. It's like a store. There are many things in that store, accessories, food, drinks, a lot. Yeah. And then they move on to having some food. And over there, Heejin drops a lot of hints, and Soojin is in fact her second choice. But Soojin doesn't pick up on them. Why I do this is because, as we see later in the episode, she does not believe that Haeyeon is actually into her. She believes it's a recon mission. Even more is, I feel like she's just tunnel visioned on Heejin. She really does not kind of care about the others. So we move back to the house and we kind of see the rest of the members prepare breakfast. Yoongkyu and Sungho have still not moved out. They're still in the house. So we see Heejin being the best out of all of these 8 people because she is interested in Yoonchae. And this is what I mean, that she'll be a great girlfriend, man. She listens and she always follows up on that. For example, Yoonchae had mentioned how she kind of wanted to have French toast for breakfast, but it was probably kind of a one-off comment, but she remembered it. And even though Heejin doesn't really call herself a cook, she herself admitted to not really knowing how to make a French toast, but she just since she said it, I really did want to make it for her because she's so caring and it comes off as natural flirting, right? Amazing. I love this. But we move on to Sungho and Jinwoo. So they kind of have a major turning point is because basically Jinwoo smokes and Sungho is not into people. He doesn't really date people who smoke. And then Sungho ends up asking would he quit for him if they ever got into a relationship. Jinwoo says that he'll definitely try, and it's not a habit for him. He's not dependent on it. But then Sungho ends up asking, why do you smoke? So then he kind of explains it as if it is a habit. He basically says that it's kind of it's time to take a smoke break, hence I do it. So rightfully so, Sungho does mention that isn't it a habit then? And Jinwoo ends up asking that if I was to relapse per se, would you still continue? So Jinwoo does get a little perturbed by that in the sense of he's just like, if you are going to continue with a habit, just be flat out rather than make the promise about doing that change for me. Meanwhile, Jinwoo is also perturbed in general because whenever they both have a conversation relating only to them, Sungho just ends up bringing up Yeon in this conversation. For example, in the smoking thing, when it is clearly only about these two, he ends up mentioning how Yeon said that, oh, that like Yeon doesn't smoke, and like she just joked like, should I like start smoking and stop smoking so that I get in your good books or whatever, right? But honestly, right, in this episode, I really ended up liking Jinwoo because we see the emotional maturity which honestly Sungho really lacks. Because Jinwoo ends up opening up a lot to Sungho, his actual love interest, rather than the other partisans being like, listen, when I like someone, I really put up walls in the sense of he ends up tunnel visioning. And he says he doesn't really mind Sungho going on a date with Youngkyu, although he does. Obviously, you would, right? If the person that you're interested in goes on another date. Although technically Sungho could not choose him, but still, it's going to hurt a little, right? So he's just like, it doesn't matter to me because it's not romantic, right? You just chose him because like you had to choose someone, right? Which Sungho does end up kind of saying yes to. And Jinwoo mentions the reason why he didn't flat out say he's jealous per se because it would come off as a little immature, which again rightfully so, understandable. However, Sungho just wants him to be honest and straightforward, and you can honestly see the foreshadowing coming so like into like fruition in this scene. I'm gonna talk about it later. So moving on, Youngkyu and Sungho do end up going on the date, like heading out for the date, and we get to see Chebe a little jealous, a little annoyed about it. So similar to Sujin and Haeyeon's date, they also go to many places and then they go to their final place. So first they also went to a boutique. Again, many things being sold. They checked things around. Like there were accessories, there were drinks, there were like display items. There's so many things. So although Youngkyu mentions that he doesn't really like have accessories, like he doesn't buy accessories per se, he ends up buying one for Sungho and they get couple necklaces in fact. This is where we get to see that Youngkyu is a person that likes to make his partner happy, but in my opinion, right, and again, this is where Reddit really backed me up on this, he's usually someone who's usually like, like wrapped around a finger, not really voicing his own opinions, his own thoughts, is the other person should be happy. And again, Reddit also backed me up where it just kind of came off as really weird in the sense of the age difference, you cannot deny it, and it really comes off as Youngkyu just taking care of him, which is a dynamic which works per se, but honestly, Sungho is not interested in him, so it just comes off as really weird and awkward. So back in the house, Jinwoo kind of opens up to Heejin about his talk with Sungho and how the smoking thing is kind of a like bum off in their relationship, and he even mentions how he kind of gets annoyed every time Sungho ends up bringing up Haeyeon into the conversation, and we can literally see a pattern where that jealousy thing is Sungho's crux. In my opinion, to avoid responsibility, to avoid choices, he just brings it up so that the other person makes the choice for him rather than him doing it himself. But we do see a friendship blossom between Jinwoo and Heejin, which it really develops later into the show. Because Heejin ends up seeing Jinwoo as like someone like her because she thought she was probably the only one struggling in this show in the house in general, right? So seeing Jinwoo have same problems, she felt a sense of relief that she's not the only one struggling, and that's probably what deepened their relationship even more further. Then shifting to the other room, Chebe ends up talking to Yoonchae about his interest in Youngkyu and his misconception that Sungho probably likes Youngkyu because Sungho had mentioned that he stares at the person that he likes, and Chebe kind of noticed how he kept staring at Youngkyu, but in my opinion, because he was so focused on Youngkyu, that's why he thought that Sungho kept turning towards Youngkyu. And Yoonchae also was like, I don't think it's that. I think it's Sungho and Jinwoo, which yeah, it is. It's very obvious that it's between them. So in a way, he is kind of relieved, but he's still bummed about the fact that Yoon-kyu does not acknowledge him as a love interest at all. So Yoon-chae also delves in a little more about her interest in Heejin. As it's bound to happen, Chae-wei and Jin-woo kind of become like allies because, like their two love interests are on a date with each other. So like Chae-wei ends up mentioning to Jin-woo how like he messaged Yoon-kyu during the date but he's not got any response. Meanwhile, on that same date, Sung-ho is messaging Jin-woo. So yeah, that was awkward. So then we shift back to the dates, and that is with Sujin and Haeyeon, and they seem to be at a Japanese style ryokan, or like a basically a resting place. Like it's a mixture of everything in the sense you can rest there, like sleep in the sense. Then there's a sauna. It's that sort. It's basically a relaxation spot. And with like a bed and like outfits being there for them, like we assume that they'll probably be staying the night, even more so because they travel so long to get here. So they start with the sauna, and I was so uncomfortable seeing this because I myself could never imagine if I'm in, because I put myself in Sujin's shoes per se, right? So getting into a sauna with a person that you barely have a love like interest in, and and you didn't think that they had an interest in you, and like it's like your first date in a sauna. I could never. So that's why I was freaking uncomfortable about it. But yeah, they end up talking about how their pursuit are going, like with their love interests. And Haeyeon honestly hits the nail as to why Sujin does not pick up on her signals, is because that's what she treats it as a recon mission. Because like it's literally Sujin ends up saying that I thought Haeyeon chose me to kind of like keep an eye on me, keep tabs on me, on basically how my relationship is developing with Heejin, right? And Haeyeon is aware of that fact that Sujin is probably thinking like this. So Haeyeon ends up deciding to be, like direct and just spill the beans and tell her that, hey, you are my second love interest, by the way. And honestly, in this scene, right, I completely understood that feeling of Heejin completely being turned off by Haeyeon, because the way she was phrasing things, right, and in general, as I mentioned before, right, that I don't think she is interested in Sujin as a love interest. She's interested in her because she's interested in Heejin. So it's kind of vicariously living per se, and also shooting down and sabotaging her. So I don't think she consciously means to do that, but in my opinion, that's what's subconsciously happening with her. What makes it worse is that during their date, Sungho ends up messaging her. And you can completely see her zone out during her date in Sujin, and she starts messaging him back. We do get to know why later, like it's so intense. But with all due respect, like in the previous dates, when someone messaged you, you did not message them back, because again, it was a love because it was with Sungho. Mostly it was with Sungho I'm referencing. Then we move on to Yoon-kyu and Sungho's date, where basically it's kind of like a glamping trip, and even more you get the vibes that it's probably going to be an overnight date. And basically the entire crux of the date, it's going to be an overnight date, and they're going to like grill meat, have like good time together. And they do, like, you can honestly, like, they in my opinion were more comfortable than Sungho and Jinwoo's dates. I did not feel any chemistry, as I mentioned many times before. You can clearly see Yoon-kyu's age coming into it, in the sense of, he's a good conversationalist. I've got to give it to him. Where he really makes Sungho comfortable, and especially like by asking him his dislikes. It's like basically to be in his good book so that he never upsets him. And we kind of even get Sungho kind of like, shading per se Jinwoo, where he ends up mentioning that I don't like it when people like, fake promise, basically, which we had talked about, the smoking thing. Then we finally get the confirmation from the like phones that yes, this is in fact going to be an overnight stay. And however, the episode ends on Sungho getting a mysterious call, and that's how we move on to the next episode. So the participants back in the house get a special mission which is only known to them. Basically, they can call someone from the existing dates to come back home from their date, therefore basically ending their date. However, they can only call the people who have initiated the date, that is Sungho or Haeyeon. So obviously Jinwoo ends up calling Sungho. So Sungho is conflicted because it's like he can't really stay, but he doesn't really want to stay, but he can't really go back, in the sense of he would be hurting both Jinwoo and Yoon-kyu's feelings. So therefore he kind of ends the call with Jinwoo on a kind of bitter note, where both sides kind of ask the other to see the position that they're in. Because Jinwoo is just like, why aren't you understanding my feelings? Why is it always another person's feelings? rather than me, who's been here, who's very open about mine. But you are caring more about a person's feelings who you don't care for, and you don't even want to be on this date. And then Sungho ends up saying that, oh, you should have not put me in this position, you should have not made this call, which understandably really hits and hurts Jinwoo. Because he's laying out his cards, he's being fully blunt. These are my cards, I like you. Whereas Sungho is still evading the question, he's still evading his emotions, he's caring more about what other people think of him. And Haeyeon is conflicted in a different sense per se, because she wants to return to the house only if Sungho is returning to the house. Otherwise, she doesn't mind being on this date. Hence, they start intently chatting. However, Sungho does end up running out of chats for the day, so Haeyeon ends up making the choice of continuing on this date. But to no surprise, Sungho ends up returning. And this is honestly the scene that completely turned me off of Sungho. Because the reason he told Youngkyu he wanted to end the date was because he ends up saying that, oh, I don't have my skincare and my clothes and things, basically things like that. And he alludes to other reasons, but he doesn't tell him flat out what are the other reasons. And I get that you don't want to hurt another person's feelings, but by not telling them the reason, by basically hiding the fact or by white lying, you are still going to end up being disliked by them because you're not being straightforward. He will probably get the truth from someone else, and that hurts more than when it comes from you. And because Sungho doesn't like being disliked, and he hated being put on the spot and actually confronting his own decisions, his own choices, he ends up blaming Jinwoo that because you called, that's why I'm here, and I didn't want to be here like you wanted to be on that date. And Jinwoo, God bless him, he really wants to talk it out, and he is that person to immediately talk it out. However, Sungho is just like, you know what, we'll talk about it later in the morning. I'm like tired right now. So following that, Heejin ends up talking to Jinwoo about noticing how Yoonjae was kind of down at the end of the day and was not eating much. And although Jinwoo said that she's probably hungry, he does hear her out, he does listen to her concerns and all. So Youngkyu finally reaches home and he responds to Chaebe's message. He ends up asking him, where are you? Because, they share a bed and he was not there. So after asking that message, he falls asleep, which in my opinion, asshole behavior. I know you're tired, but then don't ask a question, right? And obviously Chaebe ends up getting annoyed, being like, why did you even ask that question if you didn't even want to know? So after some time, all of them end up getting the mission of where they have to name the person who they want to express their feelings for. So this is where honestly it starts getting a little bit convoluted, where Heejin wants to either vote for Yoonjae or Soojin, but she thinks that Soojin and Yoonjae are probably interested in each other because back to the chat limit thing, Soojin's chat limit was at a 0, as in she had used up all her chats. So Heejin was kind of like balancing it out that out of all the people, she would probably talk to Yoonjae the most. And at the same time, she also kind of wants to help Jinwoo because Jinwoo was confiding in her a lot. Like, it was like both of them were really talking to each other. And Jinwoo talked about being a little perturbed about Sungho and his choices and his wordings and everything. So she wanted to help him out because she also ended up saying that, honestly, I really do want to vote for you, Jinwoo, because in a sense of gratitude, because you were honestly the one who was nicest to me today and you honestly heard me out. We laughed a lot and it was nice talking to you and talking about the problems per se. And this is what I talk about emotional maturity, where Jinwoo encourages her to follow her romantic interests rather than be petty, which would ultimately help him, but that's what he was looking out for her. In fact, he also offers help to Heejin, where he ends up messaging Yoonjae to see how many chats she had left. Meanwhile, Yoonjae is also conflicted whether to go full in on Heejin because, as mentioned before, she has a bit of a guarded personality, but she is ready to pull down her walls, but it's more like she's just like, will she be the right person, which completely understandable. There's a difference between being guarded in the sense of, oh, I don't want anyone to come into my persona whatever, versus being like, are they the right person to let in? So honestly, I really started liking Yoonjae also in this episode because I honestly started to see more of her personality, more of what she's like, and the reason why she was so guarded. And I honestly respected her more in this episode. And disclaimer, I got a little confused over here because the editing was kind of haywire, where the interviews and the visuals are kind of not lining up. So from what I could understand, Yoonjae ended up putting her vote for Heejin, and after she put her vote for Heejin, she ended up messaging Heejin being like, do remember to take your meds today. And it was so nice to see Heejin get a little giggly because she was interested in Yoonchae, and and probably like she gave off good vibes also to her. And Heejin casually flirts with her, being like, "Once I get better, let's go eat something delicious." And you can really see them get really giggly with each other because again, Yoonchae has finally broken down her walls and decided to let Heejin in by finally casting that vote. And what makes it even more better is that Yoonchae ends up getting to know that Heejin in fact voted for her and they both are mutual now. And this, in my opinion, was a great juxtaposition with the other mutual in the house, which was obviously Sungho and Jinwoo, where there was more tension than actual happiness upon being mutuals. Because Jinwoo thought that Sungho probably voted for him so that they could talk it out and all, right? Whereas Sungho just ended up voting just cause, and because Haeyeon had gone full in on the overnight date, so there would be like no scope of connection over there. Again, not sticking to your choices. Sungho also got votes from obviously Haeyeon and Hyunkyu, which is honestly so frustrating to see in the sense of, my dude, he ended the date with you. I know he didn't tell you the reason, but in my opinion, if he ended a date, it, with all due respect, just makeup and clothes is not going to be the reason why someone ends a date. So I would have been so put off and I would have like not continued at all, right? Because everyone in the house knows like Sungho and Jinwoo are like pining for each other per se, and you know that, and you're still going gung ho on him. I don't know. Even I had this thing within that. Do you just like him because he's like young, cute, or cute/sexy, whatever you want to call him? Is it just because of that? Because his other option is also Haeyeon. So is it just that you like petite people? What makes it even more frustrating is that like Chebe chose Youngkyu because he's still pining for him. And understandably, Chebe gets annoyed. Moving on to Soojin. Soojin ends up giving her heart to Haeyeon because the date was kind of pleasant, and honestly, she was very happy about Haeyeon being completely honest with her about her feelings, like of her being second and in general. But in my opinion, Soojin is the true GOAT because she did not get any votes from anyone. That means on the date that she's on, she did not get a vote from Haeyeon. So she's the true GOAT in the sense she didn't want things to be awkward because they still have to spend the night together. But again, respect queen. So you can really see how Haeyeon and Sungho really end up taking the other's feelings for granted, where Haeyeon ends up mentioning that Soojin probably expected her choice to be Sungho only because everyone knows it per se, right? And especially because like she had like zoned out when she was talking to Sungho during that chat session. But again, it's kind of inconsiderate. It is inconsiderate. So we shift back to the house where Jinwoo kind of nudges Sungho to talk about their last like talk on call. So he ends up asking Sungho, "Are you angry?" And in an intense emotional immaturity, he ends up not saying yes or no, no words. He ends up just turning away. And then like Jinwoo asks that should we talk about it tomorrow, and then he says yes and agrees to it, which I don't think this is going to go smoothly. Then Yoonchae is excited about tomorrow because obviously they both are mutuals and it's good to see it, and she ends up going out and talking to Chebe about her like feelings in general, and Chebe also like mentions how he is perturbed about Kyungkyu not liking him back. And that is how we end the episode. I'm so tired. I'm so tired in the sense of, I don't know. I thought the next episode would be the last, but I think it goes on till episode 14. Not too sure about that. So yeah, can't wait to see how this goes. This is a dumpster fire. Yeah. Honestly, do let us know who your picks are and who do you want to ever like see on a date, and who do you want to see on a date again. Who do you think will actually become a couple by the end of this show, like after this show? Because in my opinion, max we're gonna get 2 couples out of this. See, honestly, I do think Sungho and Jinwoo might end up becoming a couple. Will it last? Absolutely not. I don't see this lasting. Especially long distance was also something that was talked within the episode itself, where Sungho does live far away. So that will definitely end up becoming a problem. I really do hope Soojin and Heejin, but it's looking more like Heejin and Yoonchae, but I don't think it will go past the show. Just it's good to see in the sense of like just because people are bisexual doesn't mean they'll like end up liking everyone and everyone. In the sense, we are people. We have certain traits, and just because the sexuality same doesn't mean that we're instantly going to like each other, right? So it's good to see in that sense. Like it's good to see friendships also arise based on like bisexuality, in the sense like of the similarities, differences, and experience that everyone has as bisexual people. So yeah, so that has been all from us today. And do like, share, and subscribe to the Namaste Hari YouTube channel for more updates on Stand By Me. And we'll see you all next time. Annyeong.